Hello friends, welcome to my videos. So in this video I am going to share some IELTS writing tips. I scored 8 in IELTS writing, so I am going to share my experience with you. So when you write your IELTS writing task, make sure you have strong distinguish between confusing words. For example, advise and advise. So the first word is a noun. So for example, if I want to use, I can say, hey, I need an advice. So there I'm going to use C. But if I'm advising somebody, like if it is verb, I have to use S, like I advise you not to do this. So make sure you have this kind of clear distinction. This is not just a single pair of confusing words available in English. There are many more. So when you use such words, you have to make sure that you use them properly. Because if you commit mistakes here, first of all, it's very easy to commit mistakes here, and especially when you have limited time. So be careful, do proper practice, and make sure you use these words very carefully. Second, there are other sets of words where people commit mistakes, like since versus for, which versus that. So I have included two examples for you. Like I have been doing this job since 1996. So there's a video, there's another video published by me where I have shown you the rules how to distinguish between these words. So make sure you use these words properly. For example, the first sentence is correct. In fact, the second sentence is also correct. So I'm not going deeper into the usage of these words in this video. You can refer to my other videos how to use these words properly. Now, there are certain common grammar mistakes, and you should always avoid that. Especially, you should be very strong with subject verb agreement. For example, I have written two sentences, in fact one sentence twice, but in two different ways. The first one is incorrect. I marked it yellow. Did I completed the course? This is absolutely wrong, but this is a very common mistake I have seen. So make sure you write it properly, because did is the verb. So if you are asking a question, that has to precede the subject. So did I complete the course? This is correct. So make sure when you use such words, I mean especially when you ask a question, you use these words, this combination, in a very careful and the correct way. Again, you must use articles properly. I'll be late by an hour. This is not an option, but because for the example, I wrote the sentence incorrectly, so I marked it in yellow. So make sure you don't commit mistakes in articles. You got to practice really hard, and in this way you can achieve. And now, in order to gain higher scores, of course you are going to do something extra. So you can use a combination of simple, compound and complex sentences, but you got to make sure that the true meaning of every sentence you use comes out the way you want to. Because what you know doesn't matter, what you write matters. So make it sure, whatever your English level is, whatever your practice skills are, but whatever you write in the paper matters. So make sure you do not commit any mistake, because the examiner doesn't know your true level, and the examiner doesn't know how hard you have tried. The examiner knows what you have written. So make a point here. Now when you write very carefully, neatly, and always with the proper flow of ideas. When you write an idea, write some supporting statements, and in fact some examples too, as asked in the questions. Maintain proper cohesion, coherence, and use paragraphs, and never fall short on word counts. And apart from these tricks, these tips, there are certain things you should always remember, like you should properly use commas, semicolons, and semicolons, and quotation marks. If you are able to use these things properly, definitely you are going to enhance your writing. And you can use a set of vocabulary with synonym, antonyms, but make sure you use them properly. Let me tell you an example. I am writing a letter to my friend about a pleasant incident, where I say I met my old school teacher and I felt flabbergasted. So does it really make sense? No, it does not. Because when I use flabbergasted, it is a synonym word of amazed. But this word flabbergasted is basically used to describe something negative. So that means I met a teacher and I got flabbergasted, I got shocked, I was unpleasant. So what I wanted to say and what I wrote, both are completely different. I wanted to present something pleasant, but ultimately, because just to demonstrate my knowledge of words, I used a word without actually knowing how it is used, and that distorted my meaning. So make sure you don't do that. When you use a word, make sure you know how to use the word also. Usage is also important along with the meaning. So make sure you make a note of it. And when it comes to practice strategies, like although I have shared in my other video about how to practice, but certain things you can definitely do, like follow a good newspaper, a good English newspaper. There are many you can pick from internet. So read any article, and once you read, for example, you read a particular paragraph, and try to see how the paragraph is written, how the sentences are linked to each other. See how the grammatical structure has been imposed, and write it down. Just read and write, because it will improve your speed. And when you uh, write it on a piece of paper, so that you get some practice about how to maintain your speed, and you can even calculate your speed count, your word per minute in some other way. And make sure you write clearly. And when you write a piece of writing, let's say 5 lines or one paragraph, match it. Find out if you have committed any spelling mistake or not. If you have, then correct it there itself. Remember, don't commit it again. And in this way, if you practice and if you try to make yourself better, then definitely you are gonna improve, and you are gonna work, and you are gonna score high. So I hope you like this video. If you have any comments, any suggestions, or anything else you want to see, please put the comment. And do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.